Hey, everybody, welcome back to FSP, Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you're all having a great day. Today is Sunday, and that means it is time for our weekly trading breakdown. This is where I go over all of this past week's previous positions, we analyze them, and we check whether they have won or lost. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright guys, the first video that was posted on Monday the 29th was on GBP USD in the 4-hour time frame, and we were looking at this order block section, right? And we were waiting for price to come up, retrace back into the yellow OB zone, the OB zone, the order block zone, before carrying on its journey south. Now we can see the journey south definitely continued, but we did not catch an entry for that specific order block. No biggie. As time went on, we saw a couple of other order blocks. Check it out. I'm going to highlight them for you just to show you how we can try and utilize these OB zones, right, to try and catch an entry to get the trend. Now, here was another order block. We can see this was the last bullish candle before price came down and wicked just below previous support, right? Did not come back up into the OB zone, so we got no entry with that one. Price went on without us. No problem. No entry, no stop loss, no loss, right? So we continue. Then we had one right here. All right. And notice, guys, I'm using volume, right? I'm using volume to show me the trend, to confirm to me that we are actually in a downtrend, right? Okay. This was one right here as well. We broke below, right? We didn't break below this wick. We closed below this current support level right here. Let me put a little support line there so you guys can see, right? Price did close below, so we were waiting for price to retrace back into this zone. It didn't quite retrace, and it went on without us. That's no problem. Guys, sometimes we cannot chase the market, right? The only thing that we can do is practice our strategy. And if our strategy suggests waiting for a retrace, then that's what we have to do. And if we miss entries, well, then it's okay, right? There's always another trend. There's always another day to trade, right? Cool. Then we had a nice one, right? We finally caught one right there. Let me highlight the zone. Okay. Right. This bullish candle before an impulsive move down. Notice the volume. We're still putting out high bearish volume bars. So once we saw this break, I was waiting for a retrace back into the order block zone, right? We enter somewhere within the middle, put our stop a couple of pips just above the order block, right? And I always target at least a 1 to 2, which is what we got here. If we would have held out for structure for price to come back down and retest this bottom wick, right? We would have gotten a 1 to 2.7, depending where you would have placed your entry. You could have placed your entry there. If you would have placed your entry at the top of the OB zone, you would have not gotten triggered with this specific short setup. No problem. At least we managed to catch a short on GU throughout the week, because we were trying to catch this move for the better part of last week, right? And we managed to catch a couple of pips with this specific pair. So that is how we do it, guys, right? We wait for an entry, we make sure that we confirm the trend, we wait for a retrace back into the order block zone, making sure price does impulsively break through previous support levels before retracing. And that is that. Really is as simple as that. Remember, this is the 4-hour time frame. So every candle is 4 hours long, and it can take some time to play out. This is how I trade, because I cannot put myself in front of the charts for 8 hours every day, or even 2 hours every day. I only have a certain amount of time that I can allocate to charts. Right, so not every setup that I trade is going to be posted on the YouTube channel. However, remember to check the website. A lot of them do get posted on the actual website, and we have some very exciting news coming up in terms of partnering with an awesome broker where you guys will be able to watch and copy every single pending or market position that we take. But more on that to come later. Awesome. So that was Monday the 29th, right? And By the time we hit the 1st of September, we managed to catch an order block trade on GU. Fantastic. Right. The next trade was Tuesday, the 30th of August. We were on AUD USD, and it was the same setup. And we could see we had this fantastic impulse down, right? We were waiting for a retrace back into the order block zone. Alas, we did not get our retrace. So it seems like this past week, the markets did not want to let the order block guys have success. This happens from time to time. Rather be safe than sorry. All right. Rather be safe than sorry. We did not quite hit the zone. All right. So this trade is now null and void. It is possible that price could retrace back into the order block zone at some point in the future, right? And if it does, we will have to see whether this is still viable to trade. Because remember, we are in a downtrend. We are making lower lows and lower highs. If we start to take out some of these previous ranges and levels, we might have to reanalyze because we might be beginning an uptrend. So it all depends. We have to trade with the trend, right, and follow the trend. We don't want to go against the market makers and the institutions, right? We don't want to be on that side because we know that that side is the losing side, right? The winning side is always smart money. It's always the market side. It's always the market makers side. It's always the central banks. It's the institutions. We have to try and be on their side. Therefore, we trade with the trend. Therefore, if we can see the market is bearish, we look for shorts. If the market is bullish, we look for longs. That's it. That'll really help us only trade high probability setups. Okay, so that was Tuesday the 30th. Then on number 3, we had Wednesday the 31st of August on Euro USD. Let's see what we got. And this was the exact same setup, but what happened here was pretty interesting. Right, now this looks pretty messy. This is only because time has gone on. Right, I posted this chart when, let me see if TradingView will allow me to replay. Yes, it will. Brilliant. All right, I'm going to go back in time. Brilliant. This is what the chart looked like, yes, on Wednesday the 31st. We saw this impulsive move down. We saw some strong bearish volume, and I was waiting for a retrace back into the order block zone, right, to then take this pair south. Now, let's watch what happened, because this is a great example, okay, of seeing the setup play out, getting stopped out, now you know the future, and then re-getting back in. All right, so let's see. I'm going to push play. And we're going to slow this down so we can just see it slowly. Right, watch what the candles do, guys. Let's push this for every second. Right, there's our retrace. Now, there is our stop hunt, right? And I was saying beware of stop hunts, guys. Market makers know that we love these order block setups, right? They will stop us out any chance they get. Remember, we are still bearish on the daily for Euro USD. So this time we got stopped out. Not a problem. Let's see what the market then did after that. We came back down. Boom. All right. Now, we made another order block, right? So now, let's move this order block entry thing away. I'm going to just delete this for now, just to clear up some space. Now, we have officially broken this previous support level. We can bring it down to encompass those wicks. Okay, I'm just going to delete these arrows so we can just make things a little neater for you guys. It's always easier to see. All right, now we can clearly see that, right? There is our break. So what do we want to see? Right, I'm going to highlight the new order block zone, which was very similar to the old order block zone. Okay, here we go. We go from the top wick to the bottom wick. We extend this back right. Yes, just to encompass the previous bullish candle before a bearish impulse down, which we definitely got. All right, our entry will be would have been somewhere in the middle. This was a great move. I did manage to catch this, luckily. All right. Now, what are we doing? We're waiting for an entry back into the up zone, the order block zone. Yes, let's push play and see what happened with these candles. Let's watch. Remember, this is the 4-hour chart, guys. Look at that perfect sniper entry. And that is where we are sitting currently. You can see price retraced beautifully. Let's remove this arrow. Price retraced beautifully back up into the order block zone, which is where our entry would have been, somewhere in the middle, right? We would have placed our stop a couple of pips above, the order block, right? The tip. Target a 1 to 2 minimum. And if you would have held on currently and you think to, well, if you would have held to where we are right now, this is an easy 1 to 3 risk to reward. And if you think price is going to go back down again to retest this support line for the 5th time, because as you can see, we have already tested this 4 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And what was I saying when I posted this video? I said, when price keeps hitting support or resistance, it's like the old saying, if you keep punching a wall hard enough, right, eventually you're going to break through, right? Eventually you're going to break through. Does that mean we are definitely going to be breaking through this? Not at all, right? Every candle tells a story, right? And we can see this was definitely a wick. So we have some buying power here, buying power here, buying power here. Here we closed on the support level. We pushed up. Here we just wicked again. So far, guys, we are absolutely just ranging, right? We are ranging within the zone. And this just shows you that it is possible to trade these order block setups whilst these markets range, right? Because on this time frame, we're just ranging. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, up to the order block, came down. But there's always a way to catch a few pips on these ranging markets using these order block entries, right? So we caught a lovely move here, which was a 1 to 2. And for those of you that think we are going to come back down and hit the support, that is an easy 1 to 4.5, depending if you are holding this position over the weekend. Tomorrow is Monday, so we'll see what and how these markets will open. Okay, but for me, I've taken my profits off the table. I'm conservative, so I would rather take profits as soon as we achieve them. So all in all, not such a bad week. We had quite a good couple of days. Let me see if we had any others. That was the last one on Thursday because Friday was NFP, and I do not generally trade NFP. However, this was a limit order that got hit during Friday that I had set up the previous day, and because it is a 4-hour time frame, right, the movements are within my parameters of insanity when it comes to NFP. Because if you are scalping during an NFP, then I take my hat off to you. That is not something that I personally do. Right, it's been known that I have been whipped around these markets if I scalp on the lower time frames, especially the 5-minute or the 1-minute, right, during NFP day. However, on the 4-hour, we see the higher time frame support lines, and we can judge whether we think we are going to be breaking through during NFP or not, right, based on previous price action and previous levels. So that is why this limit order was triggered and went in my direction. Guys, let me know if you managed to catch any of these entries, right? Order blocks are one of my favorite strategies to use, right? I use them all the time. Oh, before I forget, we did have one more. I'm checking this out right now. We had the DAX 40. Let me just jump there quickly. We had a potential double bottom. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. What was I waiting for? I was waiting for price to impulsively close above this yellow neckline. Yes. And we can see that it did not do that. So there was no entry, right? We tried to come up. And we closed bearish. So this possible double bottom formation has definitely been mitigated, and it is now null and void, and I will no longer treat the setup as a possible double bottom. What it looks like now, just looking at it today, could be a possible wedge formation, right? We still have our divergence on the MACD below, right? So we could actually look for a break above. So something similar like this could still play out. However, I would no longer use this yellow neckline. I may actually use this trend line itself. I may next week, depending how the markets look for price to break out of the zone and then look for a retrace to the top of this trend line before looking for an entry or a reason to go long. And that actually might be a nice order block set up to go long. All right, but that is a story for another day. We'll have to see what the future brings. All right, guys, so on that note, let's wrap up this week's weekly trading breakdown. Hope you all enjoyed. If you found value, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us grow this channel. We have some awesome, exciting news on its way. So remember to hit that little notification bell to stay updated. You will not want to miss this. You are going to be able to copy every single trade that FSP Forex-Stock-Predictions take, right? If you want to trade our strategy exactly, you will have the ability to do so, right? We are partnered with a fantastic broker, and we will definitely keep you up to date with that. All right, guys. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I will be seeing you all in the next video. See you later.